What's up guys, welcome to A Reseller's Life. Today I want to go over 2 hacks that larger sellers use to smash small sellers on eBay, and let's get straight into it. This is addressing a comment from John Chris. You only sold 17 items in May. There is no way you can average $20,000 a month gross. Nice editing skills. Okay, first off, I wish I had the editing skills to pull this off, but you can see here I have 4,590 items for sale. This is where John Chris went wrong. He scrolled down here and he assumed you could just click sold and figure out how many listings I sold. It shows 69. Now, that's a little weird, right? Because if you click on my feedback and you look in the last 30 days, I actually have 388 feedback. That's pretty odd, right? For only selling 17 items, how did I have 388 feedback? Well, let me tell you what. With most large sellers, one hack they do to save time is they automatically leave feedback if somebody pays. So if you click on my left for others, this will take a moment to load, just because literally of the volume of sales that I've had. So 4,426 sales in the last, since I started this account back in November. If you want to go through and manually count all of these different items, you'll find out that I sold roughly 1,300 items in the month of May and about 890 in the last 30 days. So let's go ahead and go to my, how you would actually do this. If you go to your My eBay in the site preferences page on the left, you can actually click this button right here and it will hide your solds. Okay, so when you do that, smaller people or people who are looking for solds have no idea what your solds are, and that's a way to protect larger sellers. So like it or not, if I was eBay, I would do the same thing. I would do something to protect the people who have a lot more skin in the game and pay eBay a lot more fees. I understand that people want it to be democratic and they want it to be the same for everyone, but eBay is not a charity. eBay is a business. They're trying to make as much money as possible. Just like a lot of us. So one of the reasons they provide this is to help people keep their replenishable items hidden, like myself. So if you were to go through my items, you can actually look that a lot of my items have sold more than one time. So here's a pair of Merrells that my supplier has actually let me reorder. I've sold 35 pairs of these. If I click on revise, you can see, actually, I have to sign in for that to happen. When I actually add inventory to this, it's still gonna show as one sold listing. Once it gets down to 0 and I delete this from my account, it's actually gonna not even show up in solds at all, even though I sold, let's take a look at this. If you click on the sold, you can see that I have sold a few of these. Let's see. I sell, one every couple of days, right? But you'll notice that it's only going to show one of these is going to show up in my solds, even though I've sold 36 in the last 90 days. So again, this is one trick that bigger sellers do to hide their inventory so they can protect themselves from looky-loos. So I want to give you guys one other tip that I use that's very controversial, but I'm going to take a look at the last 90 days. So let me just refresh this page because this is really this is a testament to my editing skills. If I could really pull off editing, refreshing this page, then kudos to me. I'd probably make a lot more money as a video editor. But let's take a look at the last 90 days. 2,883 sold. I am down a lot because I have been listing a little bit less and I think the economy is a little bit slower. But let me go over this hack that I went from sort of this range to this higher range. What did I do that caused this huge jump in traffic? So part of this is the stimulus money, but I did an experiment in June and I got this idea from one of my friends who's also a large seller. And he said, try promoted listings at a really high rate for just 30 days and then turn it off. And what will happen is eBay will keep that traffic at a high rate. So almost anyone who's tried promoted listings will tell you the day they turn it on, it starts to work and then it stops working. And I'll tell you why. So right here, I basically, let's look at the number exactly. I did, let's see. What is my promoted amount? It's probably around, let's see. So you can see here, I'm selling 31 organically and 16 with promoted listings. As I start to promote it at 7%, it starts to become almost equal. You can see that, right? The promoted listings and the organic is almost the same, but I'm paying eBay a lot more in fees. So over this month, I actually paid eBay like $2,000 more than I normally pay eBay. But After that, on June 1st, I actually turned my promoted listings back down to 1%, and I maintained a higher level of traffic and sales than from before. You can see my traffic is still really high, even though I reduced my promoted listings from 7% to 1%. Now it's at this clip instead of down here below at this clip. So you can kind of hack your algorithm. Just because you list more items does not mean you get more traffic. I get that email all the time. Chris, I doubled the number of items in my store, but my sales didn't double. This is why. You need to train the algorithm to give you a certain amount of traffic, and that's going to really help you, get the traffic that you need to maintain the growth. So this, to me, is a necessary evil. I had to pay this money in order for eBay to give me a higher amount of traffic. But now, let's actually go to my seller hub. I also recommend that you guys bookmark all of the different things that you normally use just to make it a little bit faster. So let's go to my hub right now. Again, I wish I had the editing skills to fake this. But you can see I'm having a bad month, actually. I'm down 35%. I'm still at 22,981. And the last 90 days is more like 25K a month. So I guess you're right in saying that, I could be faking $20,000 a month gross because I'm more like $25,000 a month gross, even though I'm down this month pretty significantly because I've been, one, working on a couple of other projects. My listing has still remained the same, but it is what it is. And also I think right now people are running out of stimulus money and are not going as crazy with the spending. It's also a little earlier in the day today. So today's sales haven't really hit, but I'm expecting around $700-800 worth of sales in this store every single day. And the reason why I came up with that number is in my active listings. Let's go ahead and click on this to give you guys an idea. It's showing $125,000 worth of stuff listed. So I'm hoping for about a 20% sell-through rate, which is, right around $21,000, $22,000 worth of sales per month. And if we look at the hub, I'm actually, even though it's down, I'm still above that $22,000 a month range. So last month, part of it was the stimulus money. That's why the sales were so high. So again, that's another way that you can do it. So again, one thing that you can do is you can hide your solds. So go to site preferences, check this box, and then your solds will be hidden. Another thing you can do is automatically leave feedback for people who pay. That serves two functions. One, it saves you time. And two, if there are people who really want to look at what you sell, they can go through your feedback left for others and figure out what it is. It is a positive thing for customers, in my opinion, to leave them a feedback. Because again, feedback is an antiquated system, but some people still care a lot about it. But you can go through here one by one and take a look at what people are buying from my store. But I can tell you, it's mainly thrifted clothing and closeout shoes. I basically sell in two categories. Most of my stuff is those two things. Take a look at the feedback. 25% to 30% to 35% of customers will leave a feedback. So you can guess that I'm having, 900 to 1,200 sales per month. That would be my guess if I was stocking my store. So again, thank you, John, Chris, for the feedback, but I definitely have $20,000 or more gross in sales, and I do not have the editing chops to fake this. I wish I did, because then honestly I would consider a career change, but I don't. So everybody, please support the channel. Buy my reseller field guide. It's $35 with code YouTube. It's not this magic pill that you can just go through my course and know how to do it. It's just how I do it. So I'm not charging thousands of dollars for a course. I'm just charging you $35 to look at how I do it. Another thing that really helps out is having this fast and free button. I personally am a fan of free shipping and free returns, and I want this button, and I want top rated plus, and I want guaranteed delivery, and I want the bold. So this listing is going to stand out from the competition. I want all of these things so it looks like I'm a trustworthy seller and people can come to me and look for it. I love also trying to have limited quantity, so I get one more row of visibility here. I also run a fake sale. So here I have items at 22% off, even though I've already built that into the price. There is no free lunch. People always say, I like to make money on shipping. So do I. I just mark it up the extra money. When I get these shoes at a certain price, I know what my margins are. I know where I need to be to make profit on them. Also, one last final tip is this hat is a lost leader. I think I paid 20 cents for each hat, but I had to buy a couple hundred of them. So I bought this hat and I don't really make money on it, but I do sell one every single day and it helps my click-through and conversion rate for the entire store. I also have volume pricing on here. So there's lots of little ways to make your store stand out. But again, try to copy what the big stores are doing. Nothing that I do is original. I just look at the bigger stores that I want to copy. I have 2 or 3 stores who I'm modeling after, and I will eventually become like them because I spend my time looking at their stores instead of complaining on YouTube. So shout out to John, Chris. Thank you for the feedback. Everyone have a wonderful day. Take care.